Hi everybody, Amber here with Peoria Public Library, and I'm coming to you today from my home studio to show you a quick craft tutorial that we are going to be having a grab and go at Lakeview on April 17th for those 12 to 18. What we're going to make today is, ta-da, a no-sew fleece pillow. Now, if you didn't make it to Lakeview on time, or you're watching this later, or you just want to try this out on your own, let me get you a supply list. What you're going to need is a 16-inch pillow form. You can get this at any craft store. I recommend looking for when they have a sale or when you have a good coupon. You're also going to need at least 20-inch cut of fleece fabric. You can actually go larger if you want a little extra room, if you want your fringe extra long, but get at least a 20-inch cut. This one is, according to my ruler, a 30-inch piece. So this would work perfectly fine as well. Be a little long on the fringe, but I could also use a bigger pillow. The point is you want to have at least 2 extra inches all the way around so that you can tie the fringe and you don't end up overstuffing your pillow. So once you have your fabric and your pillow, you want to cut down the fabric so that you have 2 squares. Now, most fleece comes in a cut that you ask for. So if you ask for a 20-inch cut, it's going to be 20 inches in one direction, and it's usually 58 inches, what we call width of fabric. So you'll have plenty of fabric to cut a second panel unless you go over 28 inches-ish. So once you have your fabric and you figure out what size you're going to use, you need to cut 2 squares. I highly recommend laying out your fabric so that you have the fold of the fabric, how most fabric comes folded, lay it out and cut off your selvage. That's what this white part usually is here. Sometimes it has little holes drilled in it. It usually has some kind of writing on it. You want to cut that off. You're not going to need it and you don't want it on your pillow. So cut all that off, and then you're going to measure from the bottom to the fold to your square. So in our case, we're doing 20-inch cuts. So I have here a piece, well actually I have 2 pieces. Because I cut them together, they are perfectly square and the same size. Highly recommended. Not a big deal if you don't do it perfectly square, because like I said, it's a fun, quick project. It's not going to require perfection. So once you have your 2 squares, you want to line them up. And if you have a fabric that has writing on it or a direction to it, you want to make sure that the panels are both facing out and facing the correct direction on both sides. This is some fabric that I had, I think my dad got a remnant of it and asked me to do something with it. So, hey Dad, you're going to get a pillow. So here we have our 2 fabrics, and you want them, if they're directionally, face the same direction and right sides on the outside. Now, once you have your fabric picked out and you have your squares cut, you're going to go in and lay it on a flat surface. So let me change the camera here and show you how you want to get it ready to cut. I'm going to tilt this down just a little bit. Okay, so I have here on my cutting board, but you can use any flat surface. You want to have the panels lined up, and then you're going to make 1 inch cuts every 1 inch, about 2 inches in. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You want to make the fringe long enough that you can tie them, but not so long that you cut into where the pillow is going to be. At each corner, you will cut out a 2-inch square, because you won't need that in the way. And besides, when you cut 2 inches here and you cut in 2 inches here, it's going to fall out anyway. So once you have cut around all 4 sides, as you can see, I think, you cut all 4 sides, and it doesn't really matter. Like I said, I cut about 1 inch for each fringe, but you can cut it smaller. I wouldn't recommend cutting it much wider than 1 inch because they're already going to be a little thick to tie. What you want to do is you want to start anywhere you want with this and make a little knot And you don't have to do it real tight just yet. I like to just do this so that I make sure I get all my strands tied together. And we're just going to continue around. Now, once you go all the way up and around, get about 3 sides around, then you're going to want to put your pillow in on the open side and continue to tie up from there. So this is, again, no sew, so you don't have to do any sewing. Now, if you cut a little deeper into it, your fabric will stretch because it is fleece. It will stretch just a bit. But what I like to do is once I go all the way around and I have my pillow secured inside here, I like to actually go back through and retie or double knot all my strands so that they are secure. They don't decide to wiggle loose, and it just makes really cute fringe. Now, like I said, if you do decide to cut a slightly bigger square, which you are more than welcome to do, your fringe is going to be longer, which will give you more room to tie your knots. So as you can see, I can go back around this and retie every single knot so that it's safe and stable and it won't come undone. And there you have it, a cute, quick 16-inch throw pillow that you can use for your bed, your couch, traveling, gifting, anything you want. I will say from personal experience, if you do try to go too small with your pillow or with your fleece, you will end up slightly smaller. This one I actually cut because I wasn't thinking. I cut the fabric a bit short. I tried to do 18-inch by 18-inch squares. It did not work as well. But cutting it 20 by 20 is about the lowest you want to go with a 16-inch pillow. If you decide to get a larger pillow, please make sure that you cut larger on your fabric. Again, at least 2 inches, preferably 3 if you're going to go with a bigger pillow to give you room to get around the chunk of the pillow. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you get an opportunity to grab one of our grab and goes from Lakeview, April 17th, and we will see you in the library whenever you get there. Thanks. Bye.